Here's a quick look around the WordPress dashboard. If you log into your WordPress site, you should see something similar to this. By default, it lands you on what they call the dashboard, which, well, it has a lot of good info. Really isn't all that useful for most folks. It tells you how many posts and pages you have. You can do a real quick post there if you want to see your drafts, comments, kind of a quick look at things. But typically when you come in, you have a task in mind you want to get to. So those kind of things are along the side here. So let's look at a few. So if we go to posts, you'll see it's got a few sub pages in it. This is where you deal with your actual blog posts. It'll list them all on the page. You can click on one to go into it, make changes, that kind of thing. When we go back, you can add a new post. All that's dealt with through here. We have other tutorials to show you more about how to deal with those. Media, typically you'll do within a post. This is to upload images and files and that sort of thing. If you need to just upload one separate from a post, like for a widget perhaps, you can do it here. Again, typically the media is dealt with in the posts. Links, many blogs don't use this, but you can do a little blog roll or a little link index on the side. You can add links, add categories to put them in, that kind of thing. It's kind of fun, can be useful. Next you have pages. This is where a lot of sites, this is the meat of your sites, where you deal with all the content pages on your site. It's very similar to the posts section where it lists them all on the page and you can click on one to go in and edit it, make your changes, and of course hit update to save it. Or you can go to add new, or it's also over here, add new, to create a new page on your site. Go about it that way. Comments is where you're going to deal with comments on your blog posts. You'll see again it's just the one generic comment in here, but if you hover over it, you can unapprove the comment so it hides it, reply to that person, edit their comment, throw it in the spam if it was legitimately spam, or trash it if it was just not spam but not necessary, I guess would be one way to put it. Appearance is where you can go and change the look and feel of your site, particularly the themes and widgets. You spend a lot of time in there, and then depending on your theme you may have more options for the background and header, that kind of thing. If we go to plugins, this is where you manage all the plugins on your site, depending who's installed your site and where you've got it. You'll have different plugins in here, but quite a few to choose from. This is where you can activate and deactivate plugins, and activating them will often create more options on the side. This is just kind of the core list. Users is where you can deal with users on your site. If you want to add more administrators to the site or writers, you can deal with that here. Again, similar to posts and pages, you can click on their name to edit them or add a new one up here. Tools, by default there isn't anything in here you'll use very often. You can import and export your blog, but some plugins will add additional tools in here that you can use. And then finally is the settings menu. And there's a lot of settings in here. You should probably go through each of these just to see what there is. General is where you set up the name of your site and that sort of thing. You go all the way through. Discussion talks about comments. Privacy, of course, if search engines can find you, that kind of thing. But that's just kind of a quick look at what all these things are for, and dig into more of our tutorials on abrighterweb.com to get more details about any of those sections. Thanks.